Okay, let's start it. Okay, so are you able to connect? Check now in your mobile. Are you able to connect this? 1 2 3 4. Is it coming? Kajal, it is coming. Internet is not coming, or what? Internet is not connected. Okay, you are able to connect also, no? Connect. Internet is not working, I mean to say. Okay, then we have to stop the restart. Try now. So what is the password? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Is it working? Not working. We'll see, Hana, later. We'll just stop. Okay. 2015. It is not coming. It should come. It is not coming. Okay, we will see. It should come ideally. I mean, that's what they told. 15, 16. Okay. So where were we? I mean, internet should work now. Check it out. Okay. So exception. What is an exception? Exception is nothing but abnormal condition which will disrupt our normal flow of execution. Okay. And what is the hierarchy? Chandana, they are not coming. Okay. So which is the topmost class? Object. Okay. Below that, error. Sorry. Below that we are having one of the class throwable. Okay. Then error. And right side, what is our class name? Exception. Exception can be divided into two parts: our runtime, compile time, or else checked, unchecked. Okay, checked will be compile time exception, and unchecked will be your runtime plus error. Okay, those are called unchecked exceptions. Yeah, then this we have finished. Then we have seen, I mean, how to handle an exception. Try catch. Okay, and can we have multiple catch block? Yes, but what is the condition? Your subclass must come first, then superclass. Okay, and what we have seen finally. Then we have seen finally. So what is finally? Finally block will execute all the time. Okay, irrespective of the scenario. Okay, if you are having exception, it will execute. Even if you don't have exception, it will execute. And then we have studied what is the difference between break and return. Okay, what is break? Break will close the immediate loop. What does return means? Return means it will come out of the loop. So it will, even if you are having multiple loops, okay, it will come out of all the loops. Even not about loop, it will come from the method only. Come out of the method. Okay. Then if I am having return, will my finally be executed? Yes. Okay. So even if you are having return, finally will execute. Ideally, it should not execute below code, but if finally is there, then only it will go and execute your code. Okay, that's what we have seen last class. Then what we have seen? Can we have try without catch? Yes. If finally is there. Okay, that is the condition which you should know. Then we have studied anything. What? Suman? What I didn't get. What? Okay. Yeah. Now let's try to understand. Last thing what we have seen, tell me. Error, right? Okay. Okay, so we have studied what is the difference between error and exception. So is error is same as exception? No. Okay, what is an error?
Syntax error.
One is syntax error. Okay, what is the another error? Another error is nothing but the one which cannot be handled by programmer don't have control over that basically. So what sort of error? Out of memory. Okay, so something like your memory is not there in mobile or device, then can programmer do some magic? He can create memory? No. Okay, similar to this, stack overflow. Stack is full, then what will happen? You cannot run your code. Why? Because your stack is full. Now programmer cannot create stack, right? So that is one of those one, and assert error is the third one. Okay, yeah. Now the question is, can we handle error? So you understood what is error. Now let's try to discuss this question called, can we handle error? Okay, so tell me what should be the answer. Can we handle error? Can we handle error? Yes or no? We are having mixed sort of votes. Okay, so yeah. So what I'm going to say is, if we'll have this, I'll write the code like this. Try. Okay, if I'll do catch. This is the way how we handle anything, right? So try catch. So if I write error, my question is this, so can we write the code like this? Can we handle error or not? This is the question. Any idea? Okay, we'll write the code, then we'll come to know basically. Okay, so let's open it. Where is our Eclipse? Okay, it is taking some time. By the time we can discuss. Okay, so one very simple concept which you have to understand here is, okay, so all the throwable items can be caught. What does that mean? Whichever are below throwable, you can catch everything. So tell me, error is below throwable, right? So can we catch it? Yes, we can catch it. Okay, so this is the hierarchy, right? The one which we have discussed. Where is that hierarchy? So we have removed it. So all the throwable items can be caught. Okay, so which all are throwable items? Can we catch object? No, we cannot catch, because catch is not a throwable. Okay, now below one, which is the one? Throwable. We are having throwable, and we are having error. So error is a throwable. So can we catch error? Yes, we can catch. Okay, so and what is the other one? Exception. Can we catch exception? Yes, we are keep on catching, right, till now. So now discussion about is error. Okay, so let's go and do this. I'll just cancel it. So try to understand. I'll remove all those things. I'll remove all these things. Okay, and here I'll write error. Error. See, do we have any problem? No. Got it, right? So what is my question? Can we catch error? Yes, we can catch error. So as I told, all the throwables can be caught, means whichever things are throwable. I mean, if you are having throwable, all the throwable, where is throwable? Yeah, throwable. All the throwable can be caught. Okay, yeah. So below throwable, everything can be caught. Above throwable, you cannot catch it. Okay. So what I'm going to say is, here if I'll do something like object, is it working? It's not working. See. So that's why I told, whichever thing you can throw, you can catch also. So all the throwable items can be caught. Okay, so this is correct syntax. Okay, now here if I mention throwable, that is also correct. There is no problem. If I mention exception, tell me, is it correct? Yes, it is also correct. Why? Because exception is under throwable. So yeah, it's fine for us. Okay, so yeah, let's come back to our original question, which we are discussing here. Okay, so can we handle error? Yes, we can handle error. Yes, we can handle error. Okay, but if you remember, yesterday only I told one thing. What I told? What is an error? Error is beyond the control of programmer. Who should control error? JVM should control error. Okay, so the task should go to JVM rather than you should do that. Okay, so now try to understand here. If I'll handle error, what will happen? Will it go to JVM? It will not go to JVM because you are handling it, right? Okay, so what is the question? I mean, yes, we can handle error, but we should not handle it. Got it right? What I'm talking about? We can handle, but we should not handle it. Okay, so what problem will come if we'll handle it? What problem will come? Because try to understand, suppose you got out of memory, then what happened? You are handling it. Now as you are handling, it will not go to JVM. Now if JVM, it will not go to JVM, then how JVM will come to know that you need memory? Got it right? So your program will never work basically. Why? Because JVM is not able to recognize that there is some error in your code basically. So what should be the answer? But we should not handle it, because if we handle it, the error will never reach to JVM. Okay, JVM will be unaware of the fact that you are facing some problem. Now you know this error, you cannot work on that. I mean you cannot you cannot recognize, or maybe you cannot fix it. So now can it be fixed? No. Why? Because JVM is not able to catch it, right? Okay, so what you understood, will never reach to JVM, will be unaware of the fact that programmer is facing error. Okay, now if JVM does not know that you are facing problem, can he fix it? He cannot fix it. Got it right? So that's why it is advisable, you should never write this code, the code which I have written, this one, I mean here, you should never write this code. You should never write this code. You can write, but you should not. I mean, okay. Because if you write this code, it might create a lot of problems. So we should never write above code. We should never write. Sorry. You should not write like this. Okay, it should always here, it should always be your exception. Okay. Any doubt? Whatever we have tried. So what is the question? Can we handle error? Yes, we can handle, but we should not do this. I mean, because if we will do that, I mean, it will create problem. Okay, so that's why we should not do this. Yeah. Now coming back to this, I mean, there are two, I mean, statement we use. Okay, so one is called throw. Okay, another is called throws. Okay, this is also a very typical question we will be getting. What is the difference between throw and throws? Okay, before going to this, okay, let's try to understand one very simple thing. Okay, this is very typical question in HCL. Okay, so how to customize exception? How to customize an exception? Any idea how to customize an exception? I mean, my question is how to create your own exception. I mean, now I'm working on that. So I'm creating tapas exception. I want to create. So how I'll create it? How to create it? Any idea? How to create exception? What? Null values. Okay. So yeah, let's try to understand. Suppose I am having animal. Okay, I want to create dog. Then how you create? Public class dog extends animal. Similarly here, so I want to create a tapas exception. So what I should do? Public class tapas exception extends exception. Very simple. Got it, right? So this is very typical. I mean, they will ask, na? So how to customize exception? Very simple. Write the code something like this: public class, any exception, whichever exception you want to create, something like my exception. Then extends exception. Exception is not a final class, so you can extend. Then here many overridden method will be there. Same as your barking. If you remember, animal is having barking. You want to modify the behavior. How to modify? You have to override it. So you can override many methods. Whatever methods are there in exception, you can override each and every method which are available. Okay. So where is our Eclipse? Yeah. So suppose if I want to create one exception, how I create? I shift n class my exception. Okay, you want to override, you have the super class, so how do you get it? Browse is the option. You just type exception, okay, finish, done. So this is the way how you create your exception. Okay, now this exception will behave exactly like exception until unless you will not override it. Okay, suppose if you want to have some sort of constructor, you can create constructor. You want to create constructor, you can create constructor. Okay, if you want to have some sort of data you want to pass, you can pass it. You can create constructor. Okay, then if you want to override some method, then the get calls, you want to override it, you override it. Okay, get message, you want to override it. Got it, right? So this is the way how you will create your own exception basically, which will behave like your original one, and whichever behavior you want to change it, you just change here. You can change the behavior by overriding it. Okay, Yeah, now coming, so any doubt here? I mean, customize exception, very simple. Just extend it, override all the methods whichever you want to change. That's all. Okay, this is the way how you customize it. Now let's go back to our original question. So what is the question we are discussing? Throw and throws. Okay, so first we'll discuss about that. I mean, where we will use it. Then what we'll do? We will try to differentiate between those two basically. Okay, so when throw is used, it is used to throw the exception manually. Okay, what is typically till now whatever exceptions we have seen, okay, so those are you throwing, you are not throwing. Who is throwing? Your Java is throwing. Okay, but there might be some scenario where you want to throw your own exception. Okay, so in this case what is the statement we use throw is your statement. Okay, so let's try to do one example, then it will be more clear. Okay, something like if I am creating one of the exception called maybe something like overweight exception. What is the exception I have created? Overweight exception. And when I want to throw this, whenever my weight is more than 100, it will not be 100, but I am telling you. So suppose if it will be more than 100, what I want to do? I want to throw some exception. What is the exception I want to throw? Overweight exception. Then how will you do that? Which is the statement to use? Throw is the statement you have to use. Okay, so how will you do? I mean, here go over there. Okay, so you can, let's try to write one method here. Okay, check weight. We are writing one of the method. What is the method name? Check weight is one of the method which is taking my weight as a parameter. Weight is your parameter. Okay, and you want to see it. I mean, so suppose what you want to do, if my weight is greater than 100, got it, right? So you are thinking my weight cannot be greater than 100. Then what you can do? You can throw exception. How will you throw? You have to use the throw as your keyword. Okay, so this exception is not, I mean, Android or Java is not throwing. This is the customized exception. I mean, you want to throw, I mean, depending upon the logic of your code basically. Okay, so then what is the statement you use? Throw new overweight exception. If you want to pass something tapas is overweight, some sort of, you can throw some message you want to pass, something else. Got it, right? Yeah, now you can use try catch or maybe this is the write the code. Got it, right? So when we use throw statement, whenever you want manually throw the exception depending upon the logic of your code. Okay, so that's what we have seen. Used to throw the exception manually. Okay, so depending upon the logic. Manually throw customize exception or your own exception. Customize exception or normal exception. Got it, right? So whenever you want to throw some sort of logical exception, you do this only. You should not, I mean, because Java does not know what is your logic. When you write the logic, then only your Java will come to know. Okay, so manually we throw like this. Now another one is your, what is the statement? Throws. Okay, yeah, now let's try to understand throws. Okay, sorry, throws, correct, throws. Okay, so throws is used, okay, when you don't want to handle the exception. You want your calling method to handle the exception. I mean, you are writing some method, right? Then that method will be called by some other hierarchy. I mean, main method will call this one will call this one will call this one. So you don't want to handle it. You want your exception to be handled by previous calling method. Then what is the statement we use? Throws is the statement. Got it, right? So when we use throws, okay, when we don't want to handle the exception, we want our calling method to handle it. Okay. So there are typically two methods. One is called called method, another is called calling method. Okay. So if I write here public void, okay, public void something, okay, test method, okay, and it is calling a method called trial method, okay, and we will have another method called public void trial method. Yeah. So tell me which is calling method, which is called method. Called and calling. Which is called? Which is called trial method. Which is calling method? Test method. Got it, right? So suppose in this method you are having some exception and you don't know what except that. Suppose here in this case overweight exception. So I might not know what is overweight, right? So you don't want to handle it. You just pass it to your calling method. Maybe he might be knowing. Got it, right? If you don't know, what you can do? You should not handle it, right? Maybe what is that exception you don't know. So what you can do? You can give it to your calling method who can handle this basically. Okay. Then what is the statement we use? Throws. Okay. So very simple here. Here we use something like throws. Okay, and we pass whatever exception it is. Okay. So in this case, overweight or whatever exception we are doing, exception. Now what will happen? I mean, you no need to handle it. Who will handle it? This guy will have to handle it. Test method will have to handle it. Okay. Now test method, how will handle it? He will have to put try, then catch. Okay, and he will use this method. Okay, and he must have to write the same exception here. Got it, right? So that's what we don't want to handle. Our calling method to handle it. Then what is the statement we use? Throws is the statement. Okay. Now suppose test method also does not know, I mean, how to handle it. Then what he can do? He can also do like this. I mean, he does not want to handle. Then what he'll do? He can also do this. He can also do this. Got it, right? Now if test method will also do this, then where it will go? It will go to his calling method. Suppose we are having another method called, I mean, something like public void. Okay, I mean, anything. What else? Care. So what is the method name? Care is the method name, and you are writing this test method from there. Got it, right? Then he will have to handle it. This method will have to handle it. Why? Because he is not handling, he has throws, then it will go here. He is not handling, it will throws, then it will go to here. Got it, right? So now it will keep on going back. If nobody is handling, then it will go to main method. Okay. Now main method will throw, then who will handle it? JVM will handle it. So if nobody is handling, it will go to your JVM, and JVM will handle it by its own. Okay, so that's what I mean. Let's do this example. So something like here. Tell me, can I call this check weight inside my main method? Can we call this method here? Can we call it inside? This is main method. This is main method. Can we call it? No. Why? Private is okay, na? Private is your, I mean, inside your class. Private can be used inside class, and outside class we cannot use it. What? What you told something? Tell me. No, inside class no need to create object, right? Okay, so what I'm going to say is, can I write like this? Okay, check weight. Okay, I'll make it maybe. What is my weight? I don't know. Maybe 75. So, did not assign any value. What you told? Okay, so what you want me to do? Then it will work. Where? This is inside main method only. This is main method, na? This is main method only. It is starting from here and it is ending here. Tell me anything which you are missing. We have studied this. That's why I asked. What is the problem? Tell me. Right. Okay. So try to understand. I mean, we have already studied. If you remember. Okay. So when we are studying static. Okay. So what we have studied? Tell me. A static method can call only static method. It cannot call non-static. Non-static can call both. I mean, it can call static also. It can call non-static also. But if your method is static, it must call the static method. Okay. But here, tell me, check weight is static method. No, that's why it is failing. Okay, so just make this as a static. Okay, or else, I mean, you go to your this one, it will tell you. So go here, there. What it is telling? Cannot make a reference something as static. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so what you do? You just go over there and make it to static. Now you will be able to call it. So static method can call only static. It cannot call non-static item basically. Okay. Yeah. Now it will work fine for us. Okay. Yeah. So now I'll remove this try. Okay. And catch. So let's have one more method in between. So public static void. Okay. Calling method, right? It is a calling method, and I want to call this calling method from here, and I want to call this from here. Okay, so what we are doing from this particular, suppose some exceptions are getting thrown. You don't want to handle it because you don't know. So what is the exception we are throwing? Overweight exception. Then what you are thinking, this method might not know, I mean, what this overweight is. Then what he can do, there are two ways. One, to try catch. I mean, first way what he can do try catch. If he knows, he will do try catch. Means we are handling the exception. If you don't know the exception, what to do? You can do like this. You can go and throws. See, now throws. So as soon as you will throw, what we are telling? I am not handling. Who will handle it? My calling method. Who is my calling method? This calling method should handle it. If calling method also does not know, then what will happen? He can also do like this. Again, he is having two options. Whether he can have try catch or he can throws. So he will also do throws. Then what will happen? It will go to your here main method. If main method also does not know, then what he can do? He can do throws. Then it will come here. So now who will handle it? JVM will handle it. In between, if you are handling it, no need to do throws basically. Okay, so anywhere, I mean, suppose we are in between here. If I want to handle it, then no problem. I mean, that's all. But if you don't know, then just do throws. Automatically, it will go to keep on going. Whoever knows, they will handle it. Okay. And if nobody knows, JVM knows everything. I mean, because he is the one who is controlling our application, right? So he knows everything. So this is the way how we do this. Okay. So what we understood here is throws when we use when we don't want to handle the exception, we want our calling method to handle it. Then we use this throws. Okay. Now tell me the difference. Okay, one small thing, Anna. So if you see here we are doing e dot print stack trace. What does that mean? What is this e dot print stack trace? Okay, let's try to see this. Anna. When I run this code, see here. When I run this code, it is writing some code in red color, right? Red color, right? So this is nothing but stack trace. What is this called? Stack trace. So if you want to see in which line I am having facing problem, or in which line your exception is getting thrown, what you should do? You should do e dot print stack trace. So if I will not do this, then that will not come. See? Not, how come anywhere else we are doing? Okay, sorry. Here I think we are get message. Okay. Okay, we are handling error now. This is the problem. Okay, so I mean we have to remove it. We should not handle error. So we can remove it. Suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, then it will not handle it. Cannot open. So are you able to see your stack trace? No. Got it, right? So that's why I mean whenever you want to print the stack trace where the problem is, what you should do? You should do e dot print stack trace. So similarly here, what you do? Just comment it. Then it will give you the line number where you are facing the problem. Okay, so it is giving us the line number. So what is the line number? It is main from calling over. So this is the line number where we are. So this is the place where we are facing problem. Okay, yeah. So what is the e dot print stack trace? This is the method. Is used to trash where the exception is. Okay, which line number is causing exception? All the things you will be able to do. But this e dot print stack trace should be done only for debugging purpose. Okay, suppose if you are doing the coding, you should do this. But if you are running the code in some production environment, production means where many people are using your application, then you should not do this. Why? Tell me, any idea why? Why we should not do this? Any idea? Okay, so try to understand. I mean, if we'll do e dot print stack trace in external environment, okay, so where many people are there, we don't know, maybe crores of people are there. Crore of people are there, right? Okay, so few people are, I mean, few people we might get bad people also. What does bad people means? The people who are hackers, so who might cause some damage to our application, right? So if you will do e dot print stack trace, what will happen? He will come to know that he is having this class name, line number, this is having this particular statement, this is the server you are using, this is the client you are using. So he will come to know each and every information. Got it, right? So if he will come to know, then it will be easy for him to hack your code. Got it, right? So only for debugging purpose, means only for the development purpose we can use it. But if you are running the code in some sort of external environment where many people are using it, then we should comment this code. I mean, we should not expose it to outside basically. It is only for development purpose. Okay, so we should always comment it, you know, whenever you are putting it outside. Okay, so yeah, it is used to trace where the exception is, but it is advisable to comment it or replace with some SOP, okay, system order printer, something. There is some problem. So if we'll tell it there is some problem, will people be able to understand? No, right? Where the problem is. So with some SOP means system order printer, because it will otherwise it will give some clue to the hackers or intruders, you can say, intruders, or some bad people, you can say, bad people. Okay, yeah. Now can you tell me what are the difference between throw and throws? First definition will be the difference. Okay, so when we use throw, if you want to manually throw some exception, when we use throws, you don't want to handle it. Your calling method want to handle it. If nobody will be handling, then it will go to JVM. That is one of the things. Okay. Any other difference? Can you find? Any other difference? Any other difference? Okay, let's try to understand it. Okay, so throw is executable code, right? You are writing manually. Okay, and what is throws? Throws is part of signature. What is a signature? What is signature? Signature is nothing but the format of your method, basically. Okay, so throws is part of signature, where you are having private, static, all those things, basically. Okay, so what is the second difference which you understood? So throw is an executable code. Okay, and what is a throws? Throws is part of signature. What is signature? Signature means nothing but whenever we write something like public void test. So which all things will contain inside your signature? Which one of things will contain under signature? Public, is it a signature? Yes. This one signature. This one signature. This one signature. Now if I have this throws exception, okay, so this is also part of signature. Okay, but if I'll do this throw new, so is it a signature? It is not a signature. Okay, why? Because I am writing inside code, so this is executable code, basically. Okay, these are the difference. Okay, so sometime they'll ask. Okay, now let's try to understand. Quickly finish this. So final and finally. Okay, sometimes people will ask. One more difference. Finalize. Okay, first we'll discuss this final and finally, then we'll discuss this. Okay, so what is the difference in final and finally? What? Final is a constant. Yeah, whenever we want to make it constant. Okay, and finally, I told this to my older students also. Okay, so I was taking one of the interview in my office. Okay, so I usually remember this very frequently. Okay, so one of the student. Okay, so I told him, I mean, not a student, I was taking interview in my office. Okay, so I just told him, I mean, what happened? So, okay, reliable. Okay, so I asked, hey, yeah, so what is the difference in final and finally? Okay, so he was having one paper. Okay, so he just told, okay, LY. I don't know what is LY. I mean, there is some shortcut. I mean, these days people are using. Okay, so maybe I became old or something. I mean, new generation they are using. What is LY? Okay, so he was using pen and paper. So he has written final. Okay, below he has written finally. Okay, so this LY is the difference. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, he was correct actually in one sense. Okay, so if somebody will ask what is the difference in final and finally, now, okay, so then you ask him, I mean, what is the difference between aeroplane and dog? Any difference is there? Everything is difference only, right? Okay, so similarly here also final and finally, I mean, all the things are different only basically. No? So what is final? Final is a modifier. Okay, so if I make my variable final, I cannot change it. If my method is final, I cannot override it. If my class is final, we cannot extend it. Okay, and what is finally? Finally is a block of code. Okay, so finally is a modifier, finally is a block of code. Okay, finally has got something to do with exception, final has got nothing to do with exception. Okay, so those sort of, I mean, you can talk about some of the differences. Okay. So, final is a modifier, final is a block. Okay. Got nothing to do with final has got something to do with exception. I mean, whenever you want to execute the code all the time, we use finally. Okay, and what is final? Nothing to do with exception. I mean, many differences are there. Okay. Yeah, now one more sometimes people will ask, okay, so finalize. Okay, what is finalize? What is finalize? Finalize is nothing but the correct. Okay, so method which is called just before GC. Okay, what is GC? Garbage collection. Okay. So finalize is the method which is called just before your garbage collection. So from this chapter, I mean, this much questions only can be asked. Very small chapter, very important. Okay, and wherever you will go, you will definitely get 2 questions, and 1 question, that written question will be mandatory. You will definitely get it. So be very careful. You practice with different things. Okay, so we'll just open and finish this. So I mean, the one which you have discussed now, all those things will be there inside. Okay, so what is an exception? Exception is nothing but a problem, okay, which arises due to the execution of the problem, okay, program, and it is an abnormal condition and which will disrupt the normal flow of execution. Then there are 2 flavors, checked, unchecked, or what I can say, compile time, run time. Okay, and this is the hierarchy which we have studied. So in this chapter we have only studied runtime exception. In next chapter which we are going to see called serialization, where we will study compile time also. Okay, so that's what I mean, the one which you have studied, something like try catch, e.print stack trash, only for development. You should not use it for your production environment. Okay, then these are the called, I mean, all the exceptions are mentioned, and it is mentioned what it is all about. What is finally block? Finally block will always be executed regardless of exception is there or not. All the time it will execute. Even if written statement is there, it will execute. Okay, Then this is the typical code how we write try, catch, finally. In finally, what we should do? We should do clean up. Clean up means you should close the port, okay, or maybe you want to in the transaction. Those things we should do. And can we write this code? No. Why? Because with try I don't have catch and finally. Okay, we must have catch or finally. So it will give you unreachable code. No, you cannot write only try. You must have catch or finally. Then to throw exception manually, how we do? We use this statement called throw. Okay. Now what is a throws? Did I mention? No. What is a throws? Throws is nothing but if you don't want to handle it, you want your calling method to handle it, then we will use throws. Okay. So these are the interview questions which you can prepare. So we will see this tomorrow. Okay, and we will start the new chapter also. So before coming, just go through this chapter so that you will be able to recap this once again. Okay, and we will continue with the next chapter. Okay, so let me check. We can go for the serialization. Okay.